Hello, beautiful souls. If you have found your way to this specific reading at this exact moment in time, I need you to pause, take a deep, grounding breath, and realize that there is absolutely no such thing as a coincidence in this vast universe. The algorithms of the internet might seem entirely random to the untrained eye, but they are very often the exact tools the divine uses to deliver the messages you so desperately need to hear. This message, this exact sequence of words and energetic vibrations, was not meant for some abstract, faceless person scrolling through their feed in the middle of the night. It was meant specifically, unequivocally, and undeniably for you, the person who felt that inexplicable intuitive pull to click on this video today, at this very hour. The cards have seen you. Your spirit guides are actively present, and they have an incredibly urgent message to deliver. We are going to dive deep into what you need to be prepared for, what monumental shifts have already been set into motion behind the scenes, what is currently unfolding in your physical reality, and the breathtaking rewards that await you just over the horizon. The time frame for this manifestation will naturally vary for everyone. Some of you will feel these profound energetic shifts within a mere matter of days, while for others, this beautiful transformational process will stretch out and root itself deeply over the next several months. The cards do not give us rigid expiration dates. Rather, they provide us with an unbreakable compass. And right now, the only direction that compass is pointing is forward. If you are ready to receive, make yourself a cup of tea, get into a comfortable space, drop your spiritual shields, and listen carefully to what the universe is echoing into your life. Let us begin with the foundation of this reading, who you truly are at your core. Before we can even begin to discuss the magnificent future that is hurtling towards you, it is absolutely crucial to acknowledge the unique, energetic blueprint of the person stepping into that future. When I laid out the cards today, the very first energy that leaped from the deck was an overwhelming sense of your absolute exceptionalism. Now, when I say exceptional, I'm not talking about the kind of loud, toxic arrogance or the ego-driven superiority that demands the center of attention and seeks to diminish those around it. No, this is something entirely different, something profoundly quieter, yet infinitely more powerful. You possess a rare, luminous inner glow, a brilliant energetic signature that you might not even be fully aware of. In fact, you might actively try to dim this light, just to make others feel more comfortable. You might try to blend into the background, to become a chameleon in the crowd, desperately attempting to be just like everyone else so you do not disrupt the status quo. Yet, despite your absolute best efforts to remain unseen and unbothered, something within your very core continually betrays your disguise. Your natural frequency effortlessly attracts the gaze of strangers. It stirs a deep, unspoken curiosity in the hearts of acquaintances, and yes, it sometimes incites a burning envy in those who recognize the radiant light they desperately lack within themselves. This is not merely a quirky character trait or a fleeting mood. It is something deeply ingrained into the very fabric of your soul. It is written into your divine nature, woven through your aura, and it dictates how you perceive this chaotic world, and how this world, in turn, perceives you. Society might call it sheer charisma, romantics might call it destiny, but the cards call it exactly what it is: a profound, undeniably divine gift. Because of this radiant purity, you have likely always felt like the proverbial black sheep, or the cycle breaker within your family and social circles. I am not talking about wide-eyed naivety or a foolish ignorance of how harsh the real world can be. Oh, you know exactly how dark the world can be. You have survived the trenches, and you have seen and experienced far more than your fair share of hardship. But despite the heavy burdens you have carried, you have miraculously retained something incredibly rare and beautiful: your absolute authenticity. You are unapologetically genuine, devoid of pretension, and you carry a quiet nobility that has become devastatingly rare in our modern facade-driven society. Where others easily compromise their integrity, take the easy way out, step on others to get ahead, or turn a blind eye to blatant lies just to keep the peace, you fiercely stick to your core values. Your soul simply refuses to digest deceit. Naturally, this unwavering stance creates immense friction. It sometimes makes you an inconvenience to people who benefit from toxic systems, and you might have spent years perceiving this rigid honesty as your greatest flaw. But the universe is here to tell you that this exact trait, this inability to accept anything less than the truth, is your ultimate superpower. Furthermore, you do not walk this difficult path alone. The cards reveal a profound ancestral connection that is currently surrounding you with an impenetrable shield of protection. Perhaps your family tree has broken branches. Perhaps there are significant gaps, people who have walked away, relationships that have grown cold, or deep generational traumas that have left emotional scars. But despite this fractured history, the absolute highest and purest power of your lineage has been distilled and passed directly down to you. It is as if, through the echoes of generations, your most spiritually elevated ancestors have handed you the torch, gifting you with spiritual protection, ancient knowledge, and boundless potential. You carry the strength of 1,000 lifetimes within your chest, even on the days when you feel entirely depleted. You are the culmination of their prayers, and that is exactly why your current reality feels so overwhelmingly intense. This deep-rooted strength is precisely what you need right now, because the cards show that you are navigating one of the most serious, turbulent, and monumental transitions of your entire life. I'm not going to sugarcoat this for you, because your soul respects the truth above all else. This is not just a minor hiccup at work or a fleeting disagreement with a friend. This is a massive, foundation-shaking paradigm shift. It feels as though everything you once knew, everything that felt familiar and secure, is suddenly beginning to crumble at the seams, or has already collapsed entirely. Relationships, career paths, and living situations that you thought were set in stone are dissolving right before your eyes. Many people completely panic during such monumental shifts. They scramble in sheer terror, desperately clawing at the falling debris, trying in vain to rebuild structures that were ultimately built on sand. But the cards are urging you to step back and look at the bigger picture. What is happening to you right now is absolutely not a punishment, nor is it a catastrophe. It is a cosmic clearing. It is a divine purge. The universe is actively bulldozing everything in your path that was secretly holding you back, everything that was keeping you playing small, and everything that was actively preventing you from stepping into your highest timeline. Does it hurt? Absolutely. Is it terrifying to step into the unknown? More than words can express. But is it necessary for your ultimate evolution? Without a shadow of a doubt. This period is highly marked by a crisis of truth. Promises have been broken, alliances have shifted, and people have failed to show up for you the way you consistently show up for them. You are seeing the stark, painful discrepancy between people's words and their actions. And because your soul physically rejects manipulation, it is causing intense friction. Please, hear this clearly. It is not your fault that you cannot live a lie. It is your nature to seek the light, and the universe is simply forcing you out of rooms where you were completely suffocating. Once the dust settles from this necessary collapse, the truly beautiful part of your journey begins. The cards speak powerfully of a time of ultimate justice, the turning of the karmic wheel, and the arrival of the law of the harvest. In the spiritual realm, everyone inevitably receives exactly what they have sown, and for a pure, honest person who has stood their ground when it would have been so much easier to conform, this harvest promises to be overwhelmingly generous. I know it might be incredibly hard to believe right now. When you are deep in the trenches, it often feels like the people who cheat, lie, and take shortcuts are the ones who always win, while your pure heart only attracts more pain. But the divine is whispering, hold on just a little longer. The tides are violently shifting in your favor. Harvest time for a lightworker means that every single ounce of good you have ever put out into the world, every silent sacrifice, every word of encouragement, every time you chose kindness over revenge, is being gathered up by the universe, multiplied tenfold, and returned directly to your doorstep. This abundance will flow in from unexpected avenues, sudden financial opportunities, serendipitous encounters, and circumstances that align so perfectly they will leave you utterly speechless. As this karmic harvest begins to unfold, you will also experience a profound internal awakening. You are going to tap into a reservoir of inner strength and undeniable power that you either never knew existed or have spent years doubting. This might manifest through a sudden burst of creative genius, where you discover a talent that brings you immense joy and financial freedom. It might come through an insatiable hunger for esoteric knowledge, drawing you towards subjects that radically expand your worldview. Most importantly, it will come through a massive upgrade to your intuition and your innate psychic abilities. At pivotal turning points like this, it is incredibly common to suddenly realize you have the gift of deeply seeing, feeling, and perceiving the hidden truths of the world. What society previously conditioned you to view as your weaknesses, your deep empathy, your emotional softness, your high sensitivity, will finally be recognized as your most lethal weapons. Your ability to feel deeply will allow you to navigate complex situations with surgical precision, spot golden opportunities hidden behind massive walls, and make decisions completely aligned with your soul's ultimate purpose. This internal awakening will inevitably manifest into external, tangible stability. The cards are promising a deep, grounding energy, as if your roots are finally breaking through the concrete and anchoring deeply into rich, fertile soil. This means your physical health will stabilize, your nervous system will finally exit fight or flight mode, and you will feel a renewed sense of vitality. This profound stability also directly applies to your material world, specifically housing and financial security. A stressful situation regarding where you live or how you sustain yourself, which has been hanging precariously in the balance for far too long, is about to be permanently resolved in your favor. You are finally going to experience the luxurious feeling of having solid ground beneath your feet, a safe sanctuary where you can truly exhale, drop your armor, and just be your authentic self without fear of judgment. This newfound groundedness naturally paves the way for love, which I know is a question burning brightly in your heart. The cards are screaming about the emergence, or the sudden, undeniable manifestation, of a fiercely strong, deeply grounded masculine energy stepping into your life as a true equal. The partner foretold in this reading is not someone you have to fix, mother, or constantly reassure. This is not a weak, insecure, or codependent connection. This is a person of immense character, reliability, and emotional maturity. Someone fully capable of holding space for your heavy emotions and taking real responsibility. They will be a true pillar of support, backing up their beautiful words with consistent, undeniable actions. I use the word manifestation deliberately because this soul may not necessarily be a brand new face. They might already be lingering in your periphery, but they are currently undergoing their own necessary evolution to become the partner you actually deserve. Alternatively, this could be a completely new soul wandering into your life through an unpredictable twist of fate. However, the journey to this union is not entirely without its friction. The cards reveal a temporary external obstacle, a third-party situation, a meddling influence, a logistical nightmare, or simply a dense wall of circumstances that is currently creating a physical or emotional chill between you. Something is actively delaying this profound connection, and while it is entirely temporary, it is very real, and you need to be consciously aware of it so you do not internalize the delay as rejection. This pause is ultimately leading you to a massive crossroads in the very near future. You will soon stand before a divergence in your path, faced with two radically different versions of what your life could be. The past will stand directly beside the future, demanding that you make a choice. The cards insist that this decision cannot be made out of fear, trauma responses, or a misguided sense of obligation. You must choose the path that resonates with the deep, quiet knowing in your gut, the truth you are currently trying to suppress. To navigate this critical juncture, the cards offer very specific Actionable advice to ensure you do not self-sabotage your own blessing. First and foremost, protect your inner peace and move in absolute silence. You are entering the highly sensitive incubation period. Your mind, your plans, your dreams, and your spiritual home need to be completely closed off to outsiders right now. This does not mean you have to become bitter or completely isolate yourself from the world. It simply means you must adopt strict energetic boundaries. Not everyone in your circle has earned the right to have a front row seat to your evolution. I know you are excited and you want to share your massive visions with friends and family, but doing so right now is incredibly dangerous. Energy naturally dissipates when it is exposed to the evil eye, jealousy, or even the subconscious doubts of people who cannot comprehend your vision. When you speak your desires out loud to the wrong people before they have fully materialized in the 3D reality, they lose their potent magnetic charge. Keep your mouth shut, do the heavy lifting in the dark, and let your massive success make all the noise. While you are moving in silence, you must also keep your eyes and heart wide open to the signs. The universe is about to get incredibly loud. Fate is going to drop breadcrumbs for you through overheard conversations, repeating angel numbers, intensely vivid dreams, and books that practically fall off the shelf into your hands. The cards specifically mention bird symbology. Pay close attention to feathered messengers crossing your path, representing fleeting but crucial intuitive downloads. Stop writing these moments off as mere coincidences. If you miss a flight, lose a job opportunity, or experience a sudden cancellation, do not throw a tantrum. Reframe it instantly. You are being divinely redirected and protected from unseen disasters. Furthermore, your ancestral line is highly active right now.
Your loved ones who have crossed over are standing shoulder to shoulder behind you.
Honor them. Light a candle, pour a glass of water, speak their names, and thank them for their invisible labor. This is not spooky superstition. It is a fundamental spiritual technology that will amplify your power. To harness this potent energy, the universe is calling you to practice intentional, focused manifestation. Grab a pen and physically write down exactly what you are calling in. Do not use weak, vague language like, "I want to be happy." The universe responds to clarity. What exact salary do you require? What does your partner's emotional intelligence look like? What color is the door of your new home? Write it down in the present tense, as if you are already living it, feeling the immense gratitude radiating through your chest. Once it is written, fold the paper away and physically hide it. Do not obsess over it. Obsession breeds desperate energy, which actively repels abundance. Let it go and trust the spiritual postal service to deliver it. Your energy right now is highly malleable, and whatever seeds you plant in this exact moment are guaranteed to sprout. As you plant these seeds, you must also be fiercely protective of your spiritual hygiene. The cards scream that you are currently surrounded by energy vampires, situations or individuals who are literally siphoning your life force. You know exactly who I am talking about. It is the people who leave you feeling utterly exhausted, depleted, and anxious even after a seemingly normal conversation. Your plans suddenly fall apart and your mood inexplicably crashes after you interact with them. This is not all in your head. It is a very real energetic attack. You must radically minimize contact with these individuals. If you absolutely must interact with them, you need to practice rigorous space clearing immediately afterward. Use water as a conduit. Take a shower, wash your hands, and visualize their toxic residue spiraling down the drain. Wear protective jewelry, carry black tourmaline, or simply recite a fierce internal boundary before leaving your house. My aura is sealed. I am wrapped in divine white light. No weapon formed against my energy shall prosper. Do this consciously and consistently. Ultimately, this entire journey, the storms, the boundary setting, the awakening, is leading you to a definitive, triumphant breakthrough. The cards promise a clear, beautiful conclusion to this era of struggle. Through the agonizing purification process, you are emerging into an era of untouchable stability. This is not the fragile, fake peace built on people-pleasing and sweeping red flags under the rug. This is a fortress built on your authentic truth and unshakable self-worth. There will be sudden plot twists ahead, but do not fear them. The unexpected disruption is often the exact miracle you have been praying for. The reading concludes with the imagery of a key. You are about to be handed the master key to a completely new door. This is not a metaphor. A literal opportunity is about to present itself that was entirely blocked off from you before. You are going to walk through this door not because you got lucky, but because you have paid your karmic dues. You earned this by refusing to fold when the world tried to break you, and by remaining soft and true when it was so tempting to become cold and bitter. This blessing already has your name written all over it. The only thing you must do now is maintain your spiritual altitude. Keep your faith fiercely burning, even when the 3D reality tries to convince you otherwise. Do not let the heavy soil of fear and anxiety choke out the seeds of your beautiful future. You are standing on the precipice of a brand new chapter, a chapter where you are finally the author. Take a breath, hold the line, and step forward into your power. Everything is going to work out better than you could ever possibly imagine.